people are, I mean, the staff is looking to me for direction, and there is no direct, I mean, I'm equally as ready to cry when I go in. So we have salvaged some of the desks need to be just thrown away. So I'm bringing my own furniture from my office to accommodate George and myself, because I have 2 desks there that I can bring in. There's no longer a conference table, so I'm bringing my table from my office to put in. I mean, those things are coming from my office. It's my property that I chose not to sell in the sale of the business, so that I could help minimize the exposure for the county, but so that the staff can function.
Have you checked with Randy and Sam and those guys to see what's in the bowels of the buildings that may be of use to you as far as desks and stuff?
They say most of the stuff down there's
Junk.
And most of the stuff that's left for me, I mean, again, you can come and look at it. I mean, they're literally, if you move them, they're going to fall apart. So I did salvage. I think they're enough for the attorneys as long as I bring our desks.
Right.
From my office. I have a guy, I've gotten a bid for cubicles to go in that middle section. That's where I was going to put the support staff. And then I have a guy coming, which I understand would be much cheaper, to bid me today to actually build cubicles. So it would be wall, you know,
Right.
that we could take out eventually, but I mean, we got at least 4 years, but they need to be comfortable. I mean, they're running into each, I mean, it's like nothing I've ever been in.
You're in the process of obtaining bids for the sliding shelves and some sort of cubicles.
Correct.
You're on your shoestring as far as desks and things of that nature go.
And your phone system?
My phone system, we're kind of limping. Randy's going to try to reset. I think that for the time being, we wouldn't need to get a switchboard if we can run it through here, through the main switchboard.
Right.
But my understanding is that the main switchboard requested that we have one, our own, originally.
Right, because of the volume.
Correct. But that's where it would be really helpful if the clerk's office could find any inventory that has ever been done in my office. Because, you know, I'm missing a staple, like our big heavy-duty stapler, so we can't staple files unless I buy one. They're $50. I mean, I understand.
Right.
But my point is, some of these things should have either been on an inventory or there should be a paper trail, because chairs,
Rick, you should have.
I'm going to call Burkemper's Insurance and see if they have any kind of a list of insurable items in that office, and I'll check for anything that was purchased.
I was going to say, we're supposed to maintain an inventory of everything. Now, where it's located in your files,
I was told that
That's up
they
to you.
couldn't locate the ones from John's office, because I tried to find them.
my understanding on the switchboard was that was something that John purchased himself.
That's what we were told.
In response to the people at the main switchboard, the volume of calls was so great.
Purchased himself out of his private funds or out of one of these slush funds that we haven't accounted for.
My understanding is it's his private funds,
Okay.
but we need to post haste find out what is supposed to be in that office. Ideally, if you can have something for us to work off of, if we make a trip over tomorrow afternoon.
And I'm doing an inventory as of today, so that you all know. And some of the things, if the filing cabinets, there will be, I think, 8 4-drawer vertical cabinets that I can either sell on Craigslist or whatever. I mean, I can attempt to help facilitate some of that to bring money back in. But the desks, they're not, they need to be burned. Or,
Right.
I mean, really.
When you say you're getting bids on these sliding files and things, how far along are you?
I've gotten one firm, and that's the one actually that they give a government discount, and they're the only ones that are certified through the state of Missouri. They're the ones that evidently other offices have used. They've used them in Warren County also, and so we got a price break on it, and it's at right at $10,000.
Now, help me out here, Jim. These the things that the state bids out, if we use that price, that precludes us from having to go out and solicit the three.
Right, otherwise we need to make attempts to get 3 bids.
Oh, good, so
Right.
But under a state bid,
they're the only state contractor for this kind of shelving unit.
And that was gonna be my question, because I was gonna say, are there 3 shelving distributors?
There are, and I have put calls, and of course it was over the holiday, because that was the first time I could get in, so people couldn't come out, but this guy did come out. He's 4 weeks out to get my material ordered and get me installed, so I'm gonna be kind of pandemonious until it gets installed. So if you're okay with the one bid, and I explained to him that I had to bring it to you, and I wasn't exactly sure how the process worked, but if you're okay with that, then I would love to give him the nod so that he can come and get it ordered and get going on it.
If you have record of your due diligence as far as, if you can show the names of the other companies you called when you attempted to call them,
Sure.
and show that an effort was made.
Oh, yeah.
This is kind of a specialty item, so if we can have all that in place, once we have that information, I think we could,
Yeah, names of the other companies.
right.
Right, and I do have 2 others, and they actually were higher, but they did not come out to the site. I mean, I obviously
Right.
made notes over the phone, obviously,
They gave you a roundabout
per
phone
square
bid.
filing inch or
Right.
something.
Right.
So if you're okay with that, then can I give him the nod on the filing system?
so let me understand, that'd be the same kind of state bid as the trucks or anything else? They
Correct.
get the state bid, or they just do a lot of work for the state? You know if it was a state bid type thing?
It's a state, no, they're the only company approved through the state of Missouri to be the state.
So they got the, okay,
I
well, they got
guess.
the state
They're
bid.
the state installed them,
Yeah.
that's a state
Yeah,
bid.
then that's,
Yeah.
The question is, we have to decide, without having a set budget, which as we all know, the budget was at least supposed to be drafted by this time already, which it's not, where we can fit that money into how it factors into your budget. But truthfully, in the interest of having the office up and operational, I think it's something that we need to give serious consideration to
Yeah, I don't.
going ahead and charging forward with it, because,
It's not something we can wait till the budget is set.
right, I don't wanna put ourselves in a position where we're sitting here trying to save $500 and have a prosecutor's office that, can't function. But, give us a little, hopefully by tomorrow, because I wanna make sure I have all my ducks in a row as far as how we do this procedurally. But,
I'd be happy to email you the bid, because he emailed it to me the day that he did it, which was on Friday,
right,
Thursday. I'll email it over, and then you can see a picture also.
right,
Would that be, would
Yeah.
that be work?
yeah. Just send that to my personal email account, since the,
Oh, would you prefer, I can just print it and have somebody drop it by.
yeah,
Okay.
just print it off. Just print
I
it
have
off.
to get that email up today.
Okay. And I will say too, so I'm getting these to get the cubicles and stuff. I know it'll be cheaper to build them than it
Right.
will be to bring them in. However, I did contact the state, DOC. They do evidently, it's called, it's the Department of Corrections.
Right.
And they do things like that. And they did our clerk's office when they built the building. So, but they didn't have anybody working last week at the latter part of the week. So I'm gonna wait till I get it, because I understand that it's usually pretty comparable, and that's where they got all the chairs, like for the jury room and stuff like that.
Okay,
So, but from what I've found, and I've gone to use cubicles in different places, what I've found is, so far, I believe to build them will be cheaper. I would like to build 10 6x6s in that main area, but again, I'm not a carpenter, so I'm gonna wait and see what that is. But I will tell you, like we talked on in our initial meeting, if it comes down to it, I allocated in what I'm requesting less than John had in years past with those other funds. And I included, I think, $20,000 for some office stuff.
So the proposals you forwarded to Elaine include an allowance for this type of stuff?
Correct.
Okay. We don't have Margie Harrell waiting outside.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to clear that up a little bit. We have had preliminary budgets from departments, and I don't know if we,
Right, I have the preliminary budgets.
I just wanted to make that clear.
Right.
That we did receive those,
Right, oh, yeah.
I
including
guess-
from you, and, yeah.
Well, and
We
I
have
guess,
all
so
the
my
preliminary.
question is, in the effort to try to be efficient as possible, I need to be moving, and I've been trying to be moving as fast as I can. I mean, literally, my husband and I are moving furniture because I didn't have your permission to move things.
Right.
So I guess what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, if you will give me I mean, I'm trying to do this as inexpensively as possible. I'm trying to do it, I'm using my own resources. If you will allow me some leeway to get the office up and running, you can take it and I'll assign any one of those.
We'll hopefully by the end of today, give me some time to do a
Yeah.
little research and
Sure.
get this, make sure I do this correctly. And we'll hopefully give you the go-ahead
Okay.
to get that office in order, and we will be out tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon,
Okay?
sometime after 1:30.
Okay.
I mean, we can make it at one, can we make it at 1:30?
Sure.
Okay.
We'll plan on being at your place at 1:30
That'd be great.
and hopefully Rick will have us a reasonable list of something close to an inventory.
And if
You were
can-
told, Elaine told you that there was an inventory, right?
The inventory, I was given an inventory that doesn't have a date on it,
Oh,
but
Right.
that inventory isn't
Okay,
the
that's-
same,
what then what was there?
correct. And it's not the ones that, like, when George was there in the past, George would do the inventory, it's not his. It doesn't include the books, like my law books and things like
Right.
that. I don't have any jury instructions, I don't have, I mean, I'm missing
Right.
lots. And for the time being, I can limp on those things, I can look them up other places, but if you can give me some discretion to get up and running, I think we can figure